John DeSando.
Classics, let's go to the movies and share some popcorn, soda pop with our friends. Turn off our cell phones and get away. Night or day, it's John DeSando on the radio. We'll watch the credits from up high and low. Cinema Classics on NPR.
Cinema Classics is produced by John DeSando. It airs Thursdays at 8:01 p.m. on WCBE 90.5 FM. Listen to shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Audrey Harkonen.
And this is Cinema Classics.
Yes.
Now, Audrey, if I give you the letters MLK, what am I talking about?
Oh, gee, I think I know who that is, right? Yeah.
So, there's barely a breathing person who doesn't know Martin Luther King.
Right.
But have you ever heard of Rustin?
Never.
Never.
Thank you for this assignment because I had to do my homework. I had to study. And it was fascinating. Not only the film, but also his bio is very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, this is Bayard Rustin. This is Bayard Rustin. And he is the conceptualizer and the organizer of the March on Washington.
Yeah, one of the most pivotal moments in the civil rights era and in those activities, 1963 in August.
Right on.
He did it in 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And he was an amazing organizer. He was an amazing person.
Well, Audrey, I think he had originally thought there'd be 100,000. There were at least 200,000.
It was 250,000 that showed up, and it was a pivotal moment. It truly was.
All right, so this is out now. It's on Netflix.
Netflix.
So there's no excuse not to see it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's a wonderful interpretation of him by Coleman Domingo.
Oh, fabulous. Absolutely great. He is riveting, he's captivating. He captures nuance, and he is over the top in some ways. He's funny, he's clever, and really captures his personality.
Now, there's no doubt that George C. Wolfe, who is the director,
Yeah.
counseled the actor playing Martin Luther King to underplay it. Would you agree?
Very soft.
Yeah.
He was very, very soft and very almost hesitant because the original idea for the march was 2-day march, and there was lots and lots of other and Bayard Rustin was really committed to and insisting on all of that, and it was Martin Luther King who pulled back and said we've got to pare this down. And so I think that was indicative of why he was so underplayed.
And I think that the film did well to show the importance of Martin Luther King. This thing would not have come off unless King had sanctioned it.
Yes.
And he had Rustin had split from King a while ago. I think his line is, he doesn't have my phone number, I don't have his.
Correct.
But the people who really knew said, you've got to get him on board.
Right.
You better find his telephone number.
Yeah, yes, exactly, because he is the organizer. He is the premier organizer.
As much as I might complain about the underplaying of King, it actually helped to emphasize how important he was, because he could have been a blowhard, but he wasn't here. At least personally, he wasn't.
Right.
So it was even more emphasized to me how important he was to it, because for all the planning that they could do, it was worthless unless Martin Luther King was. I said, boy,
yes,
King was at his peak.
Exactly.
And it gave him the opportunity to, at the march, Martin Luther King.
His very famous speech,
Sure.
That everyone, again, every breathing person knows, I've got a dream.
Yeah,
and Bayard Rustin made that happen.
Yeah,
And
I mean-
who knew? I didn't, and so, yeah, it was a great film and great depiction.
Yes, so Audrey, this is a piece of history, and I will say it a number of times, how much I enjoy movies that are docudramas.
Yes.
Based on real history.
Right.
And how much it brings home. You can read about it till the cows come home.
But when you see and someone does it well, that really, it does. And that's also what inspired me to do a lot of this homework and a lot of this research about some of these other characters.
Oh, yeah.
And very, very interesting dynamic among the leaders of the civil rights movement. You see even some tensions between the Northern African Americans and the Southern African Americans.
Good one.
It was really, really fascinating. The very conservative and the very careful, and those that were ready to push the boundaries and push the limits.
So who was opposing? Anybody famous?
Who was opposing? I think from the beginning it seemed like they were, all of the leaders were opposing 2 days.
Yeah, right. The 2 days was a tough one.
Yeah, but originally there was an idea floated about a march on Washington with, and I've got to get his name correct, it's A. Philip Randolph.
Huh,
Back
right.
in the 40s he was proposing.
Oh, yeah, good one.
Which was not carried, it was just squelched at that time. So something that ambitious had been floated before, and Rustin pulls it off.
And the, I want to get the, I know. Jeffrey Wright.
Yes, Jeffrey Wright is Adam Clayton.
How bad a boy is Adam Clayton Powell?
Wow. And again, you see the tensions between Southern and Northern.
Oh, yeah.
It was, that's a little piece and a little nugget that, who knew?
And everybody knew that Adam Clayton Powell was lining his pockets with all this politicking.
Right.
I mean, he had been notorious for that, but he was a force.
Forced to be
And
reckoned
another
with.
name to be known immediately.
Yes, very much so.
So Wright got close to going over the top.
Yeah, he was there.
He was having too much fun.
Yeah, he was there.
Playing the bad boy.
Yes, yeah.
The other one I wanted to ask you about, Chris Rock. What's he doing in this?
I don't know. You can give him gray hair and a gray mustache, and it's still Chris Rock. And it's just true. And so he doesn't. I don't know if I would say he took anything away from the film, but he didn't really add much. He just did lines, and that's okay.
Simplistically, I'd say Chris Rock was like a rock, stiff.
Yeah.
He just wasn't quite comfortable enough with that.
No, I don't think so.
Plus, he has to have some acting chops because everybody knows him.
Yes.
So unless he comes through with acting chops, he's going to look ridiculous.
Wasn't he in a detective film long time ago? He was a drug dealer.
Yeah, I forgot what it is, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It was a buddy. It was two detectives.
And I'll tell you on that, it just annoyed me because he was so over the top. He was really acting, overacting.
Yeah.
Indicating his lack of experience in doing it.
Right.
You know, as a stand-up comedian, infamous.
Yes.
He just is an actor. And so it's so interesting, the dynamics, Audrey, to me, is that unless Chris Rock is a really good actor, we're all going to see him as Chris Rock trying to act.
Exactly. Yeah. In a few of the reviews that I read, it clearly said miscast. Miscast.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I want to save for our podcast. That is our double take podcast.
Okay.
I want to say, I'm holding off here because it's so interesting to me. I'd like to talk with you about Bayard Rustin's singular impediment.
Yes.
And I'd like to just tease people on there.
Right.
We've got a big reveal for you.
Right.
If you can stick with us.
Yeah, very, very interesting for its time.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So, Audrey Harkonen, the Netflix bio drama, docudrama, is called Rustin. It's about Bayard Rustin. Now we have an audience out there from kids to adults. What do you recommend?
You really need to see this to appreciate and put into context the effort, the work, the heart, the soul that went into many of the activities of the civil rights movement. It really does, in an 8-week period of time, to pull together that kind of presentation for all to see.
Yes.
And still to this day, we see photos of this and we know exactly what it is. It's important to review this.
And I think Coleman Domingo's depiction of Rustin is spot on.
Yes.
Because it just kind of peers over the top. He just, again, somebody who is really enjoying himself depicting. But I suspect that Bayard Rustin was just as exciting as Coleman Domingo makes him in this film.
Yes, I think he was and will be remembered as such.
All right, so it's got to be WCBE Podcast Experience. It's got to be Double Take if you want to hear more.
You got to
And
hear more.
the big
We got more to say.
With a big reveal is coming.
Yes.
It's movie time with John DeSando and his friends online. So everything is gonna be just fine. From the top down to the bottom, he's gonna let you know